This is Joe Sanok from becomeaconsultanttoday.com. I wanted to show you about Trello. So this is the main Trello page where I've got all of my starred boards. So these are people that I might currently be focusing on working with. There's other people that I might be working with in different capacities. I want to take you through 3 different ways that I'm using Trello. So I'm going to start with my How to Become a Consultant podcast. So I'm using Trello in one way to help with my virtual assistants. And so I have my entire flow of the How to Become a Consultant podcast. And I actually had some work to do in here, and that's what gave me kind of the trigger to say, oh, wait, I need to go and do this video I had told you guys I was going to do. So on the far left over here, these are people that I'm dreaming of scheduling or I want to schedule for the How to Become a Consultant podcast. People like Abel James, Jeff Walker, Gary Vaynerchuk, Brennan Dunn, all these people that to me are really interesting people and that eventually I'd like to maybe schedule for the podcast. Then my next category is people that are scheduled to be interviewed. And so like Drew Dudley, he's a TED Talk guy. He's a keynote speaker all over the world. So he's scheduled to be interviewed. Then I have my people who have already been interviewed, and it's in Dropbox. Their interview is in Dropbox, so that they're all in there. Here's where I have to do my audio and put it in Dropbox for Mike, my editor, my podcast editor, to go in and do. All right, so I recently did Rick's, and so now Pete Sanok, he's working on I know Mike might just be a little bit behind. So I know this Mike, he's already done those. All right, so I know that I put Pete, Rick Mulready, and then Andy Crestadina in that order. So they are in Dropbox and ready to go. And then when Mike starts working on editing, he's going to move them over here. When he finishes editing, he puts them here. Mike was adding quotes or links mentioned into the Google Doc. I'm probably going to have a different virtual assistant do that because I just don't know that that's the best use of his time. So that's where Pat Flynn is right now, his week. And then uploaded to website. So I need to change this because I don't think Jennifer, I'm not sure. Actually, I should talk to Jennifer. Jennifer is another virtual assistant I have. So we'll look and see where she's at in regards to uploading things to the website, show notes, bio, picture, links, all of that. And then when we have a date that it goes live, we'll go there, create quote cards for that podcast to use in social media, and then email the consultant to let them know that it's going live. So then I can, let me show you kind of like in this one. So I can subscribe to this, I can move this list, I can actually add people to each of these lists, so people that I want to know about them. So it's a really good way to kind of keep everything organized and to keep everybody on track for this project. So let's go over to boards. I want to also show you current projects, practice of the practice. So some of you know that I have practiceofthepractice.com. It's a consulting website for people that own private practices. So this is where I'm organizing, especially for my virtual assistants, different projects that I'm doing. So like signing up for Meet Edgar, a weekly report, logistics for new interns or entering hours or things like that in there. So it can also be a project that you can do. I just went back. And then I want to show you if I was to start a brand new board. Let's create a board as if, let's do your consulting with Joe. Now, since I don't have permission from my consulting clients to show you their boards, I do want to show you just what it would look like if you and I were doing consulting. So here we would have, and I usually use your name, your one thing. And then we have your next things. Then we have questions for Joe. And then we have completed. And so you could do this with your own consulting clients. You could do this if that's probably why you care about this, because you're on becomeaconsultanttoday.com. So what I tell my clients is we're going to focus on one thing at a time. And so in the questions for Joe, actually that would be questions for Joe / next session topics. What I really like about this is I was experiencing all these kind of problems when people would email me. So someone would email me, hey, in our next session, I want to make sure that like we remember to do this, and don't forget about this. We need to remember this, and it's fine. But oftentimes people would forget, and they'd rely on me to remember, and then there was no centralized place. This way, I can say just download the Trello app. If you're standing in the grocery store and you have an idea, you can say, oh yeah, I wanted to ask about marketing on Facebook. Like, is it worth it? And I ask people to put a few details in there for a trigger for them, because sometimes they forget. And I might say, oh, I want to make sure we do your business avatar as a conversation next time to really get an idea. So then we develop kind of the next things, and then, oh, you get to see that my mom just got discharged from the oncologist. So anyway, I don't know if you'll see that. So anyway, it's just funny. So then they would put their one thing in here that they're going to work on and then move on to the next thing. This keeps people highly focused. As well here, these next topics, we might move those over to the next things. If I'm talking to the person on the phone or via Skype, I might drill in and say, okay, so your business avatar, it's a 40-year-old woman who is single, has at least a master's or higher. I should probably turn that off. And so I'd put all the notes in there so that they would have that in there. Anyway, so that's kind of how I'm using Trello. There's all sorts of other functions that you can do. In some of these cards, let's go. You're seeing like my whole family's chat going on here. You can add checklists, you can add due dates, you can add members like, hey, I want a specific person to do this. You can move it, copy it, archive it. There's a ton more, like let me do share and more. So you can share that as an email with people. For me, with my virtual assistants, it's been so helpful for project management and then with my consulting clients, and it's totally free. I've never paid a dime to Trello. I don't even know how they make money. I hope they stay around, but I have no idea. So I hope this video has been helpful, and go to becomeaconsultanttoday.com. Make sure you're on the email list. All sorts of really cool stuff coming up. All right, see ya.